So the topic today is women and their body issues, issues surrounding their body. And the reason that I wanted to do this project is because I work in it every day. I work in fashion. My name is Robin Tomlinson. I own Catwalk Fashions in downtown Nanaimo. Catwalk is not just a store with clothing in it. Catwalk, me being the owner and my incredible staff, we are experts at looking at your body and your figure type and making the most out of what you have. What I've learned through my years of working with women is that every woman seems to have an issue with their body, and it doesn't matter what their weight is, what their size is, if they're short or tall or slim or bigger, they all have a problem with their body. So my goal is to make women feel good about themselves right now, today.
Hi, I'm Jane Moxham and I'm from England. I'm sure you can tell by my accent. I came here about 25 years ago, of all things, and when I arrived here I was very tiny because in England you don't eat as much as we do here, and I over time had 4 children and gained an awful lot of weight and ended up being classed as morbidly obese, and so I lost over I think 110 pounds 10 years ago. But in that process I had learned that even though I was extremely buff and a lot thinner and tiny, I didn't feel any better about myself. So I have been on a journey of self-discovery and found that I feel a lot more beautiful the way I am now than when I did when I was really, really tiny. So I've gone sort of from all different spectrums of being thin, of being too thin, because I was actually at one point 135 pounds, which is apparently my ideal weight, and I looked absolutely anorexic. So I've been that ideal weight, then I've been a reasonably okay weight, and then I've been very, very, very large. So it's been interesting to see the sort of ebb and flow of how I felt about myself depending upon what size I've been. But inside I've always been Jane, and I've always been exactly the same person inside. So it's interesting to sort of think of the fact that no matter what kind of container we're in as a body, that we're still the same person inside. And my hope is that people will see that. The interesting thing is though, is when I was all thin and buff, so to speak, I still had self-esteem issues.
Absolutely.
I still had,
and that's what happens.
Cellulite. I still didn't think I was, good enough or whatever. I'd look in the mirror and I'd still see a big fat person.
Yes.
So it didn't make any difference in it, and I actually feel more me and more centered and more beautiful if you have the courage to go deep within here and in here. Those are the very dark places that you have to go to before you can kind of fully bloom and become all that you're meant to be, and that's where the beauty comes from to me. And if women and men can look at themselves in a mirror and see that beauty just emitting from deep within, then everything, I mean, I've had more comments about me now because I'm obviously vibrating at a higher vibration or something.
Right.
we're all beautiful, and if we were all the same, life would be so boring.
How
wouldn't
boring.
it? Yeah, and people see different people as being beautiful, and different people don't. That's what makes us all wonderful.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And being in the fashion industry, that has always been my ideal, is to say your personality and your individuality is what is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's not this little ideal little box that we're supposed to fit into.
Yeah.
And so when you were your what they considered your and we'll show your pictures later, but when you were your actual proper BMI, how did you feel?
Hungry.
Hungry, that's great.
I was
All the
starving.
time hungry.
I was really hungry.
Did you think you looked what good?
No,
then?
I didn't. I actually managed to fit into a skirt, and I still have it at home, that I hadn't worn since I was 18 years old, and I brought it over from England with me because I brought a few clothes with me just in case I ever had kids and they wanted to wear my funky clothes.
Yeah.
And so I fit into the skirt, but when I look at it now, I think that is so wrong. Like, that is
To be
so wrong
small.
to be that tiny, because it's
Yeah.
literally that big.
Right.
Yeah, like ridiculously tiny. I don't know how the hell I ever got that thin. I didn't mean to. It was just that I was doing the personal training, and that was the certifiable whatever, goal weight and goal BMI and your goal lift.
Right.
And I looked absolutely like I was going to die. And also the fact that over the last 2 years, I've also, because I've been in some very, very dark places in my life, I've learned to be brave enough to face those dark places and to grow from them, so that I'm a lot more grounded spiritually and emotionally and mentally, as well as physically. And yes, I might be classed as overweight and obese, but I'm still fit and physically healthy. I still eat healthy.
Bang in the front and in the sides.
Are there any products that you should not use? Okay, so say people are not buying stuff at a salon, or they shouldn't be, or even if they are.
Just for some little rough surface.
So what I've found in the years that I've been in the business, and I actually, one of my very first jobs was working in a clothing store when I was 16. So what I found then, and that was around 1985, 84, something like that. What I found then was, women still wanted to lose a pound, and that hasn't changed at all. In fact, that's probably never changed. But the difference is that they weren't waiting or saying, I don't deserve to buy that $100 pair of jeans or that beautiful dress. I'll just buy this cheap one over here. It wasn't like that then. They still bought the piece that made them feel the best. I really would love to see women embrace how beautiful they are in their differences. The beauty comes in the differences. And we don't want to look like a line of robots. We want to look like people and personality. And again, that's what clothing does. It separates you from this person right here. So I really want to see women embrace that. And when I do see it, it's a beautiful thing. When I see the click and when I see them look in the mirror and say, wow.
They learn that beauty does come from the inside and that we're all different, and it doesn't matter what shape or size you are, as long as you are continuing a healthy lifestyle and continuing to just embrace life, because you need to be who you are. And I think that's sort of the message that I really want to get across. You know, no matter what bad stuff you've had happen in your life, I've had lots of stuff when I was a child happen to me that was not very good, and I'm sure that also went with a lot of me gaining a lot of weight to try and protect myself physically and emotionally in sort of some kind of visceral way or whatever. But I think that no matter what's happened in your life, we all have to kind of grow and move forward from this, and I just hope that people don't keep hating themselves and hating the way they look, because that's just so sad when they're missing out on so much of life, you know, that we could just all be embracing and just all enjoying together.
And I'm down. Can you hold it like this? Like your hair?
I got it. That was cute. I got it.